Take an obsessed IMAX filmmaker. Add one 7-ton tank.
Not sure, it's a tornado almost 4.
Mix in a scientist armed with the latest technology. And put them all on a collision course with a tornado. And you've got one hell of a recipe for disaster. A lot of people chase tornadoes and watch from a safe distance.
We're safe. We're safe here, Jim. We're safe.
But this team is different. They're not just chasing, they're going inside.
Oh, there it is.
Now, a filmmaker and a scientist join forces on a potentially deadly quest to push Twister science further than ever before with the first human tornado intercept.
We are in it!
You are in the warned area. Prepare for damaging winds, large hail, heavy rain, and dangerous lightning. Get into a reinforced building.
Sean Casey has a taste for the extreme. For more than 7 years, he's traveled the globe filming nature on the rampage. Mudslides, volcanoes, earthquakes. But nothing captivates him more than chasing tornadoes.
The first year I went out, I knew that. It's like finding something that's akin to your soul. And it's that realization of finding a piece of yourself. And storm chasing is that.
That's when he decided to make his own IMAX film about tornadoes. Since then, he's spent every storm season chasing twisters, getting closer and closer, but never close enough.
I know that I'll be doing this until we get the shot and make a film like no other on tornadoes.
The shot he needs is from inside the tornado. But to get it, Sean has to change the way he operates.
Hey, your tornado's over there!
The old system, using rental minivans, hustling the 100-pound camera in and out of the face of a twister, is too dangerous. Especially when you lose the keys.
Unlock it! Unlock! Lock out? Yeah.
You got a key?
Sean Casey isn't renting cars anymore. No one will let him. He's on most companies' do not rent list. So instead, Sean decides to supersize, build his own ride, and gain some space, protection, and power. It's called the Tornado Intercept Vehicle, or TIV for short. To build it, he ripped apart the body of a Ford truck and is welding on 8,000 pounds of protective steel plating, accented with bulletproof glass. But there's one problem. Sean is the welder. Well, sort of.
My co-pilot might not be too happy that I've done a lot of the welds, but I'm feeling pretty good about them. They look good. I might not trust my life on this weld. We're gonna have to go back and fill that in.
Sean designed it himself with one thing in mind: getting the shot inside a tornado for his film. The TIV is essentially a bulletproof tripod on wheels. Sean started with the base underneath the TIV, a Ford 450 truck with a 400 horsepower diesel engine. The roll cage is constructed of 2-inch tubular steel, wrapped in over 3 tons of 1/4-inch steel plating. He put a top hatch in the front and the back for observation and escape. The heart of the TIV is the rotating turret on top, supporting the IMAX camera. Inside, there are 4 racing seats with 5-point safety harnesses. Up front is a GPS navigation system and real-time Doppler radar to keep an eye on storms. In the back is a critical scientific tool, the data logger. It is like the black box on an airplane, recording wind speed, air pressure, and temperature from the instruments mounted outside the TIV. Now, after years in the making, Sean gives the TIV a test drive. It doesn't have four-wheel drive, but despite its enormous size and weight, it handles pretty well.
This is an extension of myself, you know. This is messy, it's rough around the edges, it's smelly, it's me. So it hurts when you hear people say, you know, it's Dumb and Dumber without the fur.
Sean spent thousands of dollars building it, and he's risking his life and his family's future on the TIV.
And if we can get a great tornado, get it in the can, put it into a trailer that we can show potential investors, then things would be okay. But as it is, things aren't okay.
To pay for the TIV and the movie, Sean has mortgaged his house and sold most of his stock. Now he's leaving Jennifer, his pregnant wife, behind in LA with the dog.
I'm not worried about him being, I really don't think Sean's foolhardy. I know other people may think that, but I really don't think he is. He's adventurous and he's not fearful of anything, but he's also, you know, he's smart and he's experienced in this, so I'm not really that worried about him.
Sean will be back in 6 weeks, just a few days before Jennifer's due date.
Oh, look at that.
Sure, I want America to see it.
All right, Pa.
Oh, man.
Sean's dad is also an IMAX filmmaker.
Hey, remember the motto,
Yeah.
dishonor before death. Remember, you're going to be a daddy and a mom.
I know.
And that little girl wants to hear all the tornado stories. We'll bring them all back.
Now, years after Sean hatched his idea for the TIV, he hits the road.
All right, Mark, ready?
Ready.
Ready for a little trip? A little road trip.
Mark Gutierrez is Sean's longtime friend and co-pilot.
Closing all hatches.
Mark is a big wave surfer and, fortunately, a former Navy medic. Their first big test is driving the TIV from Los Angeles to Kansas.
Every knock as a boost, and every stumbling block as a stepping stone. Lift up your head, hold it on, just keep going on.
Their 1,000-mile journey across 5 states is plagued with problems.
I say to every young woman, also to every young man, sometimes you get discouraged. Don't stop and wring your hand. Your privilege cannot be taken. Your rights cannot be banned. If someone like me can make it, I know you can. Just keep going on. Just keep going on.
But when the TIV is running, it can reach speeds of 100 miles per hour.
Keep going on.
On the downside, it only gets 12 miles per gallon. The TIV has no creature comforts like air conditioning, not even a radio. And constant attention is causing delays.
I was going like 60 into 65, but sometimes they can find anything wrong. But he pulled us over, and he came up and said that he saw us on TV and that he wanted to say hi.
Where you guys headed? Are you? Good luck. Okay, see you guys later. Watch out for traffic.
After 48 hours of non-stop travel, the TIV and its crew arrive at their base for the next 6 weeks, the town of Hays, Kansas. Hays is their gateway to Tornado Alley, a great swath of land in the central United States, which produces more tornadoes than any other place in the world. Tornado Alley is kind of a massive arena where opposing air masses face off. Here, cool, dry air collides with warm, moist air. The result can be a rolling cylinder of unstable air. If conditions are right, that cylinder can tilt vertically, resulting in something called rotation. From the ground, it looks like a slowly spinning wall of clouds. This is usually where tornadoes are born. But two mysteries remain unsolved. Why tornadoes form when they do, and what's happening in the critical area at the very bottom of a twister. It is here where all the destruction and death takes place. That's where Sean Casey is headed. Sean knows he can't intercept a tornado alone. He needs to join with a scientist who knows tornadoes and can help keep him from getting killed. At Augie's garage in Hays, Kansas, Sean meets up with meteorologist Dr. Josh Werman. Josh is one of the leading severe storm scientists in the world. For over a decade, he's chased and studied tornadoes, which is how he met Sean. But two people couldn't be more different.
We don't have any maps, so we're totally dependent on you.
You have no maps at all?
We have some.
Ray McNally, a globe?
Well, we'll see if we can't get a globe.
Yeah.
The odd couple share a passion. They both want to get close to a tornado, and they both built their own machines to do it. But their motivations are different.
I went through this heavy Star Wars period when I was 12. And I drew spaceship after spaceship after spaceship. And almost all the spaceships that I drew look exactly like this. Especially this kind of angular and lots of windows.
Exactly.
But Josh's designs were more practical. Frustrated with the old system of studying extreme weather, where scientists waited for the storms to come to the radar, he decided to take the radar to the storms.
My whole motivation was seeing that scientists were able to get up close to tornadoes, but that they weren't being nearly ambitious enough about taking really cutting-edge instrumentation up to the tornadoes.
So Josh invented something called Doppler on wheels, otherwise known as the Dow trucks. A Dow is a small commercial truck loaded with nearly $1 million of equipment. It can look inside a storm, determining its direction and its power. The essential tool is the custom-built Doppler weather radar located at the back. Josh sits in the middle cab, surrounded by computers, kind of like mission control. A satellite dish on top can transmit and receive wireless internet, TV, and radio weather bulletins. With this high-tech mobile probe, Josh began to make groundbreaking discoveries. In 1998, he documented the highest speed ever recorded in a tornado. A super twister in Oklahoma with winds clocked at 301 miles per hour. But Josh's radar has two limitations. It can't record temperature and other critical data from inside a tornado, and it can't scan the bottom 30 feet.
That's a very important 10 meters because that's where structures are that are being destroyed in intense tornadoes. So understanding what those winds are is important for us if we're going to understand how tornadoes do damage.
But Sean doesn't really care too much about science.
I don't really have a goal for science. I mean, it's nice that we have instruments aboard, but that's not my primary goal. My primary goal is to film a tornado, a beautiful tornado, up close with an IMAX camera. I don't want to have any shots that are taken with a telephoto lens. And to be effective with that wide-angle lens, you got to be in tight. I want to be up close. I want to be dirty. I want to be scared.
So while Sean needs Josh and his Dow trucks to find a tornado, get his shot, and avoid being killed, Josh needs Sean and his TIV to get him the critical data from inside the storm.
The whole name of the game with tornado observations is to get as close up as you can safely. we can get about a mile away with the Dows. The TIV, of course, can get up to about 0 miles away because they're armored and have all these armored windows. They're very ruggedized.
There's an up-and-coming storm that is
One of the key features of the TIV is that it's a human intercept vehicle. Since we can't predict how tornadoes are going to move precisely, it's very difficult to place an object ahead of time in a place that's sure to get hit by the tornado. With the TIV, we can place them roughly in front of the tornado, and then as the tornado gets closer and closer, they can adjust. So if the tornado makes a change in path, they can move up here and get hit. Having a stormy breakfast?
But before anyone can get hit, they need to find a tornado. Starting from Hays, Kansas, they begin a routine that they will repeat for the next 6 weeks.
Yeah, we're up in the escarpment. Let me get the pampa out of this. Yeah, pretty.
I like it right there.
Yeah, maybe a little. Well,
Even if the target was here or here, I would still argue to go down 135 toward Wichita. Best southern target might therefore be in the Texas Panhandle. Deep layer shear there certainly looks adequate for supercells. Think a tornado or two may be possible.
All right, Josh, we're gonna get him today, right?
oh yeah.
All right.
Guaranteed intercept.
They've got the technology. The team is in place. Now, all they need is the perfect storm.
Today's Friday the 13th. I didn't think we were going to get to Chase today. I said it was a bad day. Now it's a good day. In a little small area. So how can we possibly mess that up?
Boy, I just think this thing to the northeast is what we want to go after, which means pretty much we want to duck south and then make a play for it on 82 east.
All vehicles, you want to saddle up and get ready to go. I think we're going to head south. South brings us down.
They may drive for hours, but when they're ready to intercept, they'll use a basic battle plan. Josh will direct his forces from Dow Truck 3. To be successful, a second Dow truck, Dow 5, has to scan the tornado from a different angle. The third vehicle in Josh's arsenal is Scout. It is a fast, nimble truck racing ahead to check on road conditions. Finally, Josh will direct the TIV to deploy to a forward position on a road where the Dow team believes the tornado will cross.
We're deployed again right ahead of the hook echo portion of a supercell. You can see it behind me. There's the large, massive reflectivity, and then it's coiled around at the tip here, and that's the hook echo.
A hook echo is often an early indicator that a tornado is forming. It is defined by this characteristic fishhook shape on the scope. Outside the truck, it looks like this.
And it's basically coming almost directly towards us. We hope it passes just to the north of us here. And that would put us in an ideal position to watch any tornado as it skims across, hopefully just about a mile north of us. So we have about 5 or 10 minutes here just to watch it.
The storm has got a tornado in it. It's about 120 mile per hour winds in that tornado. Rain wrapped. It's looking mean in there. That is a real mess. That is high precipitation storm.
A high precipitation, or HP tornado, is extremely dangerous, simply because you cannot see it. What looks like a thunderstorm with lots of rain and hail is actually disguising a powerful tornado. HP tornadoes typically kill people in their cars. Drivers may think they're heading into a thunderstorm, only to come face to face with a violent tornado. Because of this deadly unpredictability, Josh and Sean made a written agreement. The deal gives Josh control over which tornadoes Sean can intercept. They both believe the TIV can withstand winds up to 160 miles per hour. But no one knows for sure, and no one wants to be wrong.
Going in hard. You can't see it, but it's there.
In spite of the danger, this is what the team has been waiting for.
Josh what the wind speeds are. Josh and Tim, what are your current wind speeds?
They're fine. Peak winds are about 50 meters per second in close. There's a lot of crap to the south.
Those winds are about 112 miles per hour.
Please tell me it's not going to include. Oh, there's a little tornado in the center. Just formed. Look at that. See that little spin up in the center? Okay, now a little tighter thing formed right in the center. There's definitely a tornado. It's a double ring structure. Nice little concentric eye. It is at, it's definitely to the south of us. Stand by. It's 3.6 at 260. That's pretty.
What Sean and the TIV crew cannot see, Josh sees clearly on his Doppler radar.
Okay, just so you know, the tornado's latitude is now south of us by 300 meters. So it's 300 meters. It will definitely go well to the south of us. 3.5, 255.
You got real low visibility. We don't see it yet.
Tib, I just don't think you're going to see anything right now. There's a lot of precipits surrounding what's a little tornado in the center. So there's a big eye and a little eye. So it's going to be very hard to see.
It's something when you can see the tornado coming at you and you can prepare yourself to be hit. It's another thing to kind of have your eyes closed and to have this monster that's kind of lurking in this huge rain curtain.
Okay, well,
Josh now directs TIV toward the Intercept.
Circulation.
Sean takes the ready position, pointing the front of the TIV into the tornado. The front is designed to withstand the most violent winds and debris.
Yeah. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Yeah. Here it is. Limit. Taking on water. No way to film it. Wow. The water. Lift it up.
Wind speeds outside reach nearly 105 miles per hour. But the science data logger attached to the instruments on the TIV isn't recording. And Sean abandons his IMAX camera because it's too dark. Still, the basic idea worked. They found a tornado and they intercepted it.
Wow. Hey, Mark. Awesome driving. Thanks, Sean. That was awesome. We went through 2 trees and 2 washes and we're still rolling.
You wouldn't call it a dry run, but it was a great test drive.
And the little Tim survived.
That was fun. I wish we could have seen it, though.
Still, they have a lot of work to do. Water leaks, computer failures, and some lingering mechanical problems will keep them busy throughout the night. Because weather conditions are looking very promising tomorrow. Sean and the team got close yesterday. Now they're quickly patching up the TIV and ensuring the critical scientific instruments are working. So the next time they intercept, it goes down in the record books. The usual atmospheric collisions are taking place, but the storms just aren't producing tornadoes. Every day, they pick a target area based on the best weather info they can get. Every day, they drive hundreds of miles to get in position to see the show. And every day, it's a bust.
I can't see anything.
No tornado right now. The hook is kind of cycling, you know, looks good for a while, and then it's kind of weakens a little bit.
With every storm, the team spends hours waiting and watching.
got a general kind of wetness in the carpet that seems to be breeding its own smell. So that all combined, you get a man stench. That's what we have right now. That's why we have these.
I think it's more like Sean stench.
More like Sean stench. So when the stench gets really bad, every crew member has one of these.
Last May, 509 tornadoes spun down from the skies, and this year, only 115, down nearly 400%. The problem is something called a lid.
There's a huge amount of energy in the atmosphere today, which could, if it was released, make very, very powerful storms. The problem is there's a cap, a very strong lid on it. So it's almost as if you're boiling water, but there's a really tight, screwed-on lid on it. If that lid is removed, or if it bursts through, then there'll really be explosive development of storms and probably supercells.
The lid is a layer of high pressure above the storms, and as long as the lid is on, the chasers sit. Chasing storms is 99% boredom and 1% pure adrenaline rush. Maybe that explains why last year people spent over $2 million on storm chasing tours. People come from all around the world to be part of the growing tornado chasing culture.
Hope for the big one, like pick me up, toss me around and put me down gently, and a couple of scars I don't mind, but just pick me up.
On any given day, there could be hundreds of chasers lining the roadsides. Since the hardest thing about chasing is finding storms, lots of chasers chase the Dow trucks because Josh is the quickest way to a fix.
If you're an adrenaline junkie, this is the best thing to do. It's awesome. And what better fun to do it with than your son and a good friend? I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah, my husband thinks I'm insane.
Yeah, everybody we told, we're going on a storm chasing trip, they're like, are you crazy?
Listen to her mom! Okay, stop! Pick up! Pick up! Okay, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going! Seriously! Keep going!
Some amateur chasers are not so different from Sean Casey. They're competitive and obsessed with intercepting any way they can.
My name's Randy Hicks. I'm the Outlaw Chaser. Well, we are the Outlaw Chasers. That's what we call ourselves. Everybody calls me the Twisted One.
Randy built an unmanned interceptor he calls the Caminator. He's hoping to place it in the path of a tornado. As it passes over, the two cameras inside would capture it on tape.
And I'm out trying to live my dream. I just want to see the inside of a tornado. You know, and I don't think you have to build a big goofy contraption like that to do it either. I sure wouldn't want to drive into a tornado in that. I ain't the brightest guy in the world, but I can tell you that right there is going to get them boys killed. I mean, look at the bottom of it. You can see where the winds will be able to just draft that thing right up and suck it right away. I mean, I've had my truck picked up and thrown 3 feet back up off the road before, being in the defluencing winds on the outer edge of a tornado. But I mean, that's a chance we all take. Sooner or later, somebody's going to die doing this.
This season, Randy and his chase partner were able to deploy the Caminator in the path of a fast-moving tornado.
Oh gosh, man, this is awesome, Randy. I actually feel it.
Tornado.
This is the tornado right here,
We're
Randy.
gonna die right here if we're not careful.
We're gonna make it hurt, Randy. You know why? I see my end, and this isn't it.
The difficulty with intercepting a tornado with an unmanned probe is trying to predict which path the tornado will take. But it looks like the Outlaw Chaser nailed it this time.
Oh my God, Randy, this is huge.
Oh, it's going right for the Caminator.
I know it. It's going for it, dude. We're making history.
But a last-second adjustment in a haze of adrenaline led to a frustrating outcome. The chasers left the camera on autofocus, Instead of seeing the tornado, which made a direct hit on the Caminator, they accurately recorded the inside of the Caminator's housing as the tornado passed over. Josh Werman and the Dow trucks are hoping for better luck. They've got a lead on a promising supercell developing and are racing for it.
Okay, a new hook is formed ahead of the old one. It is now west-southwest of us, only 4 kilometers.
But on the way to the target area, the TIV crew got off track. And now the 14,000-pound TIV is stuck deep in some Oklahoma mud.
I go this way.
All right, well, why don't we abandon?
They've been chasing for 5 weeks and have nothing to show for it.
This trip has been really wrought with breakdowns, with misplays on storms, with not getting to the right place at the right time.
Everyone is hot, bored, and has too much time on their hands.
You guys feel that? You feel that force thing coming off me?
In the midst of the bust cycle, Sean calls home.
Hello?
Hello?
Hi, honey.
Hi, sweetie.
How are you?
Sean's wife, Jennifer, is due in about a week.
Just playing with the dog.
But once again, Mother Nature surprises him.
And being in a breech position right now,
Yeah,
I just feel like, she could come early for sure.
yeah. I was hoping to sweet talk my wife into letting me stay a couple extra days, but if she's gonna schedule a C-section, there's no way. So, June 15th, our deadline, that's in stone.
It's now June 9th, and with only 6 days to go, they've followed dead-end weather leads into deepest South Dakota. Today's target is far to the south, near the Kansas-Nebraska border. 4 hours and 240 miles later, they finally enter the arena.
The interesting part of the storm is passing overhead now with no production, so we need to move north and try again. Dow 3 is down, no radar updates for a few minutes again.
Then the trouble begins. Dow 3 is having sporadic electrical problems. And without Dow 3, TIV has no radar support.
We're probably 5 miles from where we gotta be. There was a tornado on the ground. It's coming right at us, but we're at this road construction block.
And with time running out, Sean can't afford any missed opportunities.
Okay, Dow 3 is on the air. We will tell you what's going on, and
Josh sees a hook echo forming on his radar. He quickly passes the coordinates to the TIV and sends them ahead.
okay, hook is approximately 16 kilometers distance. Damn it. Gotta stop again.
The TIV crew arrives in Damar, Kansas. They've lost radio contact with Josh and are out here alone.
What did I just do? Damn it. Did I just unplug the compressor? I didn't think I did. I thought I just unplugged this.
Man, it's right on top of this town. Come on, baby, where are you? Where are you?
Do you know where they are? I don't know exactly where they are. We've had radar failures here. They might be down near Damar.
ready to bust out. I'll be ready.
Then, with the Dow nowhere in sight, Tiv finds themselves on the edge of a tornado.
Get out of here! Get out of here!
Just then, Dow 3, now fully operational, arrives on the scene.
Mid-low rotation looks quite good. Should be a funnel. Okay, people are seeing a funnel. In fact, it's now doing a tornado.
Oh, at long last. There it is, there it is. Yeah, we copy. We're trying to get ahead of it. There's two of them. There's two going right now. Keep driving. Just keep driving.
Two tornadoes are on the ground at the same time. It's extremely rare. A chaser's dream come true.
Yeah. What do you want me to do, Sean? Left or straight? Make a left. This is a road. It might be a driveway.
Sean heads towards the healthier and more organized stovepipe tornado.
Tiv is proceeding towards the tornado.
They've gone 5 weeks without even seeing a tornado. Now they're less than half a mile from two of them, and they can't find a road that will take them there.
Do we have any west options that we can be more aggressive on? No.
Tiv went too far south without the Dow radar in a desperate bid to intercept one of the two tornadoes on the ground. While they struggle to get back in the game, the Dow trucks are primed to record a scientific first. Multiple radar tracking twin tornadoes.
Tiv, you want to get north to Highway 24 and then go east. The tornado is going to pass very close to the town of Stockton.
As they scream towards Stockton, a possible intercept is less than 5 minutes away. And that is exactly when they hit live power lines damaged by the storm.
Back up, back up, just back up. Just back, just pull it, back up. I almost got decapitated.
No, you almost got guillotine, man, or clothesline. So glad you weren't hanging out there. Jesus Christ.
Dude, decapitated and electrocuted at the same time.
You'd be cauterized.
I usually keep my head out of this hatch. And there used to be a handle right here for the hatch. The power line sheared off this handle and got caught up into our turret. And this area right here is where it impacted.
The delay kills the chase, and Sean, now with only 5 days left, is still empty-handed.
You know, every season, I figure you're given at least 2 chances to get in a tornado. And that was one of them. And we messed up. So I'm hoping we have one more chance.
But a disaster for Tiv is a major coup for Josh and his team.
Yeah, let's see what those are. Finally, we were in the right place in the right time, and the atmosphere cooperated and made some spectacular tornadoes. In fact, 2 simultaneous tornadoes that we were able to intercept at close range.
This will give scientists an unprecedented map of one supercell thunderstorm producing both the single vortex tornado on the left and the multi-vortex tornado on the right.
Understanding how the same storm produces 2 wildly different looking tornadoes is something we'll really have to look at, and that's really something we can chew on scientifically for a while.
Josh's new data could help forecasters issue very specific warnings about a tornado's direction and intensity, so people know when to prepare and what to prepare for.
That's not a good sign! I want to go home! I want to go home! Yeah,
2 more bus days follow, leaving Sean one final day before his time runs out. On June 12th, the team gathers for what will be Sean's last weather briefing.
Yeah, here.
Here.
Obviously, they're real jazzed that this might be a real tornado day as opposed to what we've seen for all.
Technology is one thing, but it turns out what they really need is something more powerful.
We've been going at this for about 40 days without much success. So we've thrown out our old lucky dice and we're replacing them, and we hope that somehow that brings us some luck or inspiration or something to get some tornadoes and some better data.
Attention to detail.
And Sean is not taking any chances either.
Whew, okay, that should do it. I mean, what else? What else? There's really nothing else. Is there? This is it.
I don't see this goes
Junk up there, huh?
The team makes a plan and sets out for its target area, Turkey, Texas.
All right, why don't we go east of Vigo and then north to the edge of the canyon and evaluate?
Other chasers ahead of the convoy are phoning into Dow 3, reporting perfect conditions for tornadoes.
Oh, let's go! Let's go!
Tiv, the area of interest is about 1.8 kilometers. It's about 1 mile east of us and about half a mile north of the road.
We copy, thank you.
It's on the ground.
There's a tornado on the ground. Yeah, we see that. There's a tornado there.
A tornado watch is also in effect.
You've asked permission to move ahead? Yeah, we're just going to suggest that. Please move ahead.
Tiv is now within a mile of the tornado.
Here it comes. Come on, baby. Come to Papa.
Tornado has intensified, now has 50 meters per second winds at low levels. It is northwest of us at 2.7 kilometers.
This storm is very strong. It's still within the limits Josh set for Tiv. But if it strengthens, he'll need to call the Tiv off.
Get ready for your seatbelts on.
Tornado continues to intensify, now has peak winds over 90 meters per second, 80 to 90 meters per second.
Those are winds close to 200 miles per hour. That kind of power might rip Tiv apart. Though this could be Sean's last chance to intercept, that decision is in Josh's hands. And one mistake could be fatal. Sean is poised to drive into the tornado. 10 excruciating minutes pass while he waits for Josh's okay to intercept.
This is a pretty strong circulation. I think it's more than what you want to have occur across your car. I would actually recommend coming a mile south of that.
But as quick as it formed,
Initial tornado is dying.
it begins to disappear.
Tiv, yes, this is not going to cross the road. Please come back south.
We copy, we're on our way.
How frustrating is this? God, so close. God, so close.
But the storm spawns another tornado.
There is now a stronger tornado developing immediately to its rear, to its west, 1.7 kilometers north of us on the road.
If I had to take a guess, Josh,
yeah,
as Delphi was already mentioned, there was definitely a new rotating wall cloud to the northeast. That may be the show shortly.
So in about 6 or 7 minutes, we're going to have to make a very painful decision whether to go after the target to our west or the target to our east.
The team is chasing a storm to the east when a new tornado forms in the opposite direction.
Forming directly behind us.
Everybody, please proceed to do U-turns so you're pointing east.
Josh makes a gutsy call. He tells everyone to turn around and try to intercept the new tornado.
That's pretty.
Josh directs Tiv toward the intercept.
Right, I recommend you go up to road 1228 and then go northwest on it.
As TIV gets closer, they hit strong outflow winds from the tornado.
I'm going, there she is!
It looks like down and east, right? It is coming right at us.
Because there is no debris, the tornado is hard to see near the ground.
It's right in front of us.
But conditions are right, and Josh gives TIV the go-ahead.
It's approximately 100 meters in front of us.
Okay, don't make the turn. Go west, continue west, and wait for it to come south at you.
Keep going. We're right in it. We're right in it. This is it. Stop.
The TIV holds their position.
It's going right at us. We're getting some good winds. Very good ones. Here goes again. There's barrels and cans and strange things flying around here.
As they intercept, Dow radar is recording winds in the tornado at 139 miles per hour. Chasers from all around monitor the radio and watch the intercept from a safe distance.
They're in it. Tim's in it. We are in it! Yeah!
But the tornado makes a sudden turn and heads directly towards one of the support vehicles. And this car doesn't have armor plating. They take a direct hit from the eye of the funnel and nearly from a metal barrel, traveling in excess of 100 miles per hour.
Okay. Everybody okay?
Okay, all right.
Greg, are you okay?
Yep.
Everybody okay?
I'm all right.
All right, let's turn around. Okay.
Your wipers aren't doing any good.
Are you at the intersection right now?
Okay, make a U-turn. All right, commence a U-turn.
Okay, are you at the intersection right now? Would you please unload yourself and be prepared to move east? This thing might be coming east again.
It's breaking out. It broke up.
Stand by. I think it's actually weakening up quite a bit. Visually, it's roping out. It's got about 20 meters per second left on it, so everybody can stay put.
Tip copies. It's gone. That was hot. I think that was. You can't get closer than that. You were inside of a tornado. You can't get closer than that at all.
Congratulations, Tim.
Thank you very much.
Well, that was a long time coming. I mean, half an hour ago, I was beating my head against the side of the TIV because we'd missed it twice already today. And then that one. Man.
When they crossed the road right where it was, they read us their lat line, and it was right where I was plotting the storm. Sounds like they got some pretty good winds. We think they were probably about 50 meters per second, which is about 125 miles an hour.
I'm still a little numb, like I feel like overloaded, and I don't feel, it's gonna take a little while to sink in, but that was really nice. That was a beautiful tornado.
For the first time ever, the team intercepted a tornado, not only with the radar, but with TIV's instruments near its base.
It was just terrific. It's really exciting to have all this integrated data, and it's really a first that we were able to get anything close to this, where we have radar data, in situ measurements, film lowdown, and really one of the best tornadoes documented ever.
For Josh, this is a huge accomplishment after 10 years of field research. The team is compiling all the radar information, documentation from the TIV's instruments, and even the film and video images recorded during the intercept. It will take years to analyze everything, but Josh's early findings are groundbreaking. The first ever top-to-bottom picture of a tornado. Seconds before the TIV intercepts, Josh records peak winds at 139 miles per hour. Then TIV intercepts, giving Josh a picture once invisible to his radar. Maximum winds hitting the TIV are about 80% of the wind speed recorded 50 feet above the TIV. Using this ratio, Josh can now accurately estimate ground-level wind speeds on any tornado, something scientists couldn't do before. Sean did not get the final epic shot for his IMAX film, so next year he'll be back chasing storms. But he'll have some help from the newest and youngest member of the TIV crew, Shay Evelyn, Sean and Jennifer's new baby girl.
I'm still gonna come out here and chase until this film is done. I'm not gonna miss a year. But then when she's, say, a year and 9 months, she could come out.
But he'd better buy a car seat.